Imagine this, you're sitting alone in a quiet room, yet somehow you feel that someone is thinking about you. Then suddenly your phone rings. It's them. Coincidence? Or something deeper? Welcome to the world of quantum entanglement, a concept that sounds like it came from a sci-fi novel, but is one of the most profound scientific discoveries of our time. Einstein once called it spooky action at a distance, because it defies logic. Two particles, separated by space and time, still somehow mirror each other perfectly. What happens to one instantly affects the other, no matter how far apart they are. But here's the question that truly changes everything. What if this isn't just about particles? What if it's about people? About possibilities? About your life? Quantum physicists discovered that once two particles become entangled, they remain mysteriously connected, even if they're on opposite ends of the universe. That means your thoughts, your emotions, and your intentions, if they are focused and conscious, might influence the field of reality around you in ways you can't yet fully understand. From a spiritual perspective, this isn't just science. It's a mirror of ancient truths. In Vietnamese culture, we have a saying, mind gives birth to form. The energy of the heart shapes your destiny. It echoes the principle of quantum entanglement. What you hold inside, your fears, your desires, your vision, reverberates into the world like invisible threads weaving a web of connection. You're never really acting in isolation. Your dreams, if aligned with your deep intentions, can pull events toward you like magnets. This isn't magic, it's alignment. When you align your frequency, your thoughts and emotions, with the version of yourself that already lives the life you desire, you begin to attract that version of reality toward you. This is the foundation of quantum jumping. Quantum jumping is the idea that there are infinite versions of you existing in parallel timelines, and through awareness, energy, and intention, you can jump into a version of yourself who is already living your dream life. Sounds insane? Maybe, but many pioneers, from mystics to scientists, suggest that this isn't only possible, but inevitable when you master your inner world. But it all starts with one realization. You are already connected to the life you desire. The job, the love, the peace, the health, it's not outside of you. It's entangled with your essence, waiting for you to tune into its frequency. In the next section, we'll dive deeper into how entanglement works in your personal energy field, and how to access the doorways to your ideal life using simple, repeatable mental shifts. But for now, sit quietly for a moment and ask yourself, if I'm already connected to my dream life, what's the one thought or habit that is keeping me in the wrong reality? Because often it's not about searching harder, it's about letting go of what blocks the signal. Let me ask you something. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt something was off, without anyone saying a word? That's not your imagination. That's your energy field speaking. Every living being emits an electromagnetic field, a subtle vibration of frequency made up of thoughts, emotions, and intentions. Science has confirmed this with heart coherence studies. But here's where it gets truly powerful. Your personal energy field is not just a signal. It's a gatekeeper. It determines what you attract, what you repel, and what version of reality shows up for you. Imagine your life as a series of radio stations. Each version of you is broadcasting on a different frequency. One version of you is struggling, lost, stuck in the same loops. Another version is thriving, peaceful, living with purpose. Both exist simultaneously in the quantum field, but you can only experience the one your energy is tuned into. That's the secret most people miss. They keep changing their outer actions but forget to shift their inner vibration. Let's bring it home with a simple Vietnamese metaphor. Nuoc duc kong soi duoc trang. Muddy water can't reflect the moon. In other words, if your mind is clouded by fear, doubt, and resentment, it doesn't matter how much you want success or peace. Your energy won't let it in. So what do? We clear the field. We start by understanding that energy is influenced by three core elements. Thoughts, these are the architects of your reality. Emotions, these are the fuel. Fear contracts your field. Gratitude expands it. Beliefs, these are the anchors. If you believe you're undeserving, you'll keep sabotaging your jumps. Most people are unconsciously broadcasting the same low-frequency signals over and over again. I'm not enough. It's too late. No one sees me. And guess what? The universe responds not with punishment, but with precision. It matches your signal. Now here's the breakthrough. You don't need to change the outer world. You only need to raise your frequency. This can start small. Practice heart-centered breathing for 5 minutes a day. Write down what you're grateful for every morning. Replace self-criticism with curiosity. Instead of, why am I like this? Ask, what lesson is hidden here? When you shift your energy field, life starts shifting around you, quietly at first, then all at once. It's not a race, it's a remembering, because deep down, your soul already knows how to jump timelines. It's done it before. Have you ever had a moment where everything felt aligned? Where opportunities appeared out of nowhere? Or a strange series of coincidences led you to a breakthrough? That was no accident. That was your higher energy field calling your reality into place. Quantum entanglement isn't about forcing the universe to give you what you want. It's about becoming the version of you who naturally receives it. When the flower blooms, the bees come uninvited. In the next section, we'll explore how to enter that blooming state consistently through a process called quantum coherence, a way of syncing your mind, heart, and intention into a unified field of creation. But before we go there, ask yourself, what am I broadcasting right now that might be blocking my dream life? Because once you become aware, you can begin to change the signal. Now that you understand your energy field is the gateway to your dream life, let's go one step deeper. It's time to talk about quantum coherence, a powerful state where your heart, mind, and energy aligns so perfectly that manifestation becomes effortless. Let me explain. In quantum physics, coherence refers to the synchronization of energy waves. When your thoughts, emotions, and biological rhythms are in harmony, your electromagnetic field becomes more coherent, stable, and influential. This state is not only measurable by science, it's also the key to unlocking what many spiritual masters call flow, oneness, or satori. In Vietnamese wisdom, we call this state peace of mind, peace of mind. When the heart is at peace, everything else follows. But here's the challenge. Most people are living in internal chaos. Their thoughts are scattered, their emotions are suppressed or reactive, and their energy is fragmented by worry, regret, or fear of the future. You can't manifest your dream life from that place. You might want success, but your nervous system is in survival. You might say affirmations, but your heart doesn't believe them. That's where coherence practice comes in. Think of your body as an instrument. Your heart is the drum, your brain is the strings, and your breath is the conductor. When they're out of tune, you create noise. When they sync, you create music, and the universe listens. Let me give you a simple practice to start achieving quantum coherence. The coherence technique, 5 minutes to shift your reality. 1.
Find stillness, sit comfortably.
Close your eyes. Begin to slow your breath. Heart-focused breathing. Breathe in for 5 seconds. Breathe out for 5 seconds. Imagine your breath moving in and out through your heart. Generate elevated emotion. Think of a moment you felt deep love, appreciation, or joy. Let the feeling grow. Let it radiate from your chest. Hold the feeling plus set an intention while in that elevated state. Visualize your desired reality. Don't beg for it. Feel it as already done. Let go plus trust. Release the outcome. Trust that your signal was received. This is not just a meditation trick. This is a biological and quantum upgrade. Studies from the HeartMath Institute show that coherence can regulate your nervous system, enhance immunity, and synchronize your brain-heart waves in just minutes. But the real magic? When you do this consistently, you start to notice synchronicities. The right person calls. An opportunity randomly appears. You get a sudden idea that changes everything. These are not coincidences. They are quantum echoes, the universe reflecting your internal harmony back to you. Let me tell you a true story. There was a Vietnamese woman living in Toronto who had struggled with infertility for years. Doctors gave her little hope, but after practicing daily coherence with heart-centered visualization, she stopped trying to force an outcome and simply began living in the energy of motherhood. 3 months later, she conceived naturally. Not because she forced the timeline, because she aligned her frequency. That's the essence of quantum coherence. You don't chase the dream, you become the vibration that invites it. Let's not forget what the ancients knew. When mind and heart walk as one, the body becomes a portal. So what's next? We now understand the foundation. Your energy field is the gate. Coherence is the key that unlocks it. Emotion is the glue that holds your frequency in place. In the next section, we'll take this further by diving into entangled timelines, how different versions of your life exist simultaneously, and how you can shift into the one you choose with clarity and intention. But for now, ask yourself, what emotion do I need to live in today to attract the reality I desire tomorrow? Because when your emotion matches your intention, you don't just wish, you create. By now, you understand that energy alignment and emotional coherence are the foundations of manifestation. But here's where things get even more fascinating, almost mystical. What if I told you that multiple versions of your life already exist right now? In quantum theory, this idea is not fantasy, it's called the many worlds interpretation. It suggests that every choice, every thought, every frequency you emit spins off a new reality, an alternate timeline that exists in parallel to the one you're experiencing. Imagine standing at a crossroads. One path leads to a life of scarcity, struggle, and stress. Another leads to a life of peace, purpose, and abundance. And yet another might lead to wild success, global impact, or deep spiritual awakening. The question is not, can I create my dream life? The real question is, which version of myself am I tuning into right now? Because you are not chasing your dream life. You are choosing between quantum entangled versions of you that already exist. Let me share a simple analogy. In Vietnam, there's a story of a poor farmer who finds a wounded bird. Instead of eating it or ignoring it, he nurses it back to health. Years later, that bird returns as a spirit, guiding him toward a hidden cave filled with treasures. But here's the twist. In another timeline, he ignored the bird, and nothing changed in his life. Two realities, one choice. The act of kindness created an entanglement with a better future self. That's the secret. Every small action, every thought, every belief you hold links you to a different timeline. Quantum entanglement isn't just about two particles. It's about you and your future self being energetically linked. So how do we jump timelines consciously? How do we move from the version of us who is stuck to the version who is thriving? Here's the process. 1. Quantum timeline jumping. A 3-step guide. Awareness of current frequency. Take inventory. What are you thinking, feeling, believing right now? Are these aligned with a version of you who is empowered, or a version stuck in fear? 2. Embody the new identity. Stop waiting to feel confident once you're successful. Start acting, thinking, and feeling like that version of you today. This doesn't mean faking it, it means choosing coherence with that timeline. Make different choices every time you choose courage over fear, self-love over criticism, intuition over logic. You create micro-jumps. These shifts compound, and one day you wake up in a reality that feels dramatically different. Here's a story from one of my students. He was stuck in a job he hated, constantly exhausted and angry. But after studying quantum jumping, he began waking up early, meditating, visualizing his ideal career, and most importantly, acting like he already had it. He networked differently. He walked with confidence. He spoke his truth more often. Within 3 months, he was offered a remote job in a creative field he never thought possible. Was it magic? No. He became the version of himself who already had that life. And the universe, entangled with that new energy, responded. In Vietnamese spiritual teachings, there's a belief that we are always accompanied by two shadows. One is the person we are. The other is the person we could be walking silently beside us. The one we walk with is the one we acknowledge with belief and intention. So let me ask you, are you walking beside your limited self or your infinite self? The choice is yours. The versions exist. The energy is waiting for your signal. In the next section, we'll learn how to collapse unwanted realities, how to cut cords with limiting beliefs, dissolve energetic blockages, and fully step into the version of yourself that's calling you forward. But before we move on, pause and reflect. What is one bold choice I can make today that my future self will thank me for? Because that choice could be your quantum leap. Now that you understand how quantum entanglement connects you to infinite possibilities, let's talk about something just as important. To step into the new reality, you must release the old one. This is the part most people avoid. We love the dream, we desire the breakthrough, but we're afraid to let go of the identity, the story, the wounds that have been with us for so long. Let me remind you, you cannot be both the caterpillar and the butterfly. You must surrender the cocoon. In quantum physics, there's a term, wave function collapse. It describes how a particle exists in many states at once, until it's observed. When you focus on a single intention, reality collapses into one outcome. Spiritually, this means when you stop giving energy to fear, self-doubt, and lack, those realities collapse. They no longer exist in your field. But here's the key. You can't just think your way into a new life. You have to unplug from the habits, emotions, and identities that keep you chained to the old one. Let me tell you a story. In a mountain temple in Vietnam, an old monk teaches his students the lesson of the burning rope. He says, "Your past identity is like a rope of straw soaked in oil. It burns easily, but only if you are willing to light it. If you keep watering the rope with old memories, it never burns. The fire never comes. And so, neither does transformation. This is the law of energy. What you keep feeding, you keep alive. You can't say you want peace while still feeding the fire of anger. You can't say you want love while still clinging to resentment. You can't say you want wealth while still identifying with lack. So how do you collapse the old reality? 3 rituals for energetic disentanglement. 1. Cut the cord of the old identity. Write a letter to your old self. Thank it for everything it taught you, every scar, mistake, fear. Then burn it safely or bury it. Let it be a ritual of release. Let the energy go. Cleanse your environment. Your outer world reflects your inner frequency. Let go of objects, clothes, emails, or even relationships that anchor you to the past. Every cleared space invites a higher timeline in. Practice stillness daily in silence. The quantum field becomes more accessible. Meditate, breathe, walk slowly. In stillness, you stop entangling with chaos and align with clarity. Now, let me ask you something personal. Who would you be if you were no longer burdened by your past? What would you create if you stopped waiting for permission? Where could your life go if you finally believed it was already yours? Because the truth is, your dream life isn't in the future. It's in a timeline that already exists, entangled with you right now. But to meet it, you must rise. Quantum mechanics teaches us, the observer collapses reality. What you focus on becomes real. Therefore, your attention is your superpower. Focus on pain, and pain persists. Focus on healing, and the body regenerates. Focus on possibility, and the universe reorganizes around that belief. So the question is no longer, will it happen? It's simply, what version of reality will I continue to feed with my energy? That's the true power of quantum entanglement. It's not just about science. It's about responsibility. You are the dreamer and the dreamed, the creator and the created, the particle and the wave. Final words. Your quantum leap begins today if you take one thing from this entire journey. Let it be this. You are not waiting for your dream life. Your dream life is waiting for you to become the version of you who already lives it. Let go of who you were, step into who you truly are, and let the universe, entangled with your new frequency, Bring it all to life. Don't wait, decide, collapse the old, anchor the new, and leap, because the timeline where everything works out beautifully, that timeline is already real. It's just one quantum shift away.